Welcome back everyone to Alchemy Factory, and in this episode we're going to be changing this slightly. Between episodes while I was doing the editing I did notice two mistakes. The first one is to get a diamond I need an extra one of machines. I actually needed 14 because it only comes down to an adamant otherwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 here. So this last machine wouldn't be doing the diamonds, it would be doing the adamants. The second thing is, this is all great to produce diamonds, but the issue I'm going to have is the amount of money. Each one of these builds to create a diamond, I'm going to have to invest about 65, I think it's about 66,000 on a sand build to be able to get a diamond, and then I'll sell that diamond for 100,000. But if I've got 4 or 5 of these running, then that's like 300,000 to 400,000 that's just going to be tied up with no payout. And then when I do get a payout, I'll get like a 400,000 payout. So I can make this slightly better. And the way I'm going to do it is have a build here, and have the machines in the middle in a different configuration. So I think this is going to be a good one. Otherwise, because on my play save, when I did a similar setup to this, I ended up bankrupting myself. So I think I want to cut it to there. I think I've got the right position. We'll just move this out for the moment. So each of these is coming into 20s, which is fine. It goes into the first machine. I don't know if I can get... Might not be anything in these. No, because it's refined them all down. So the first machine was doing 40, which is fantastic. But what would be a better system is having these 2 machines come into 1, another 2 machines coming into 1, and then getting them 2 to combine before it goes into this cycle. So that's what I'm going to plan for. I still have the builds at the other side. I do need to take them down. Oh, end of day. Just looking at the figures of what's been sold today, we sold about 100 salt in the shop. I'm currently making about 480, but I'm only making about 240 of the glass, which we're selling about 60. So that's giving me about 180 left over. So I'm thinking what might be a good, because bricks don't sell as good, is also that build, take the salt off and turn it back to sand. It was only because I needed quests, but I've got a way of dealing with that. Pretty good on the contracts, 168,000. So what do we have in total? 367,000, and we spent out 242. So we are getting a bit of money, and I just don't want to make myself bankrupt. Otherwise, all the stuff I've been working for is just going to go away. Now, I'm going to take down everything over here first. Let's have a look at the quests to start off. Now, that Saturn one, I don't think I'm going to get enough. Because I was going to concentrate on the Saturn build, but the problem is the amount of machines you need to have to run an efficient Saturn. I don't think I've got enough money with trying to do a diamond as well until the diamond becomes operational. I don't think I'm going to have the money. Well, we've still got 3 days to try for it. So we'll cross our fingers, maybe. We'll turn that in. It's only going to be 3,000. It's better than nothing. So yeah, we do need to wait for a Saturn over here. And how far are we on the Saturn? I mean, I could even cut these belts to the shop. The shop's got more than enough at the moment, which I think I am going to do. I'm going to cut that belt. Salt, we've got too much anyway, so that's fine. And I'm going to cut the brick as well. We will have to reconnect these up. That just means everything's going to go into this relic now. About the best chance I've got of trying to get this relic done, because we're only 29%, and we're only doing... If everything was running efficient, then we might be able to get 20% a minute. So it'd be about 5 hours to get it done. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Let this run. But yeah, the glass is definitely suffering. So I think I need to change that top one back to salt. From salt over. Okay, I've just changed that then back to the doing the sand. So we've only got 1 rock salt at the moment, which is it this bottom one here? Yeah, purchasing rock salt. Let's just cancel that off at the moment, because I've got some rock salts on me. I want to chuck these 3 into this system before I reconnect the portal back up here. So that should help out. Let's just make sure all the money's going in. Yeah, it looks to be. Yeah, sand's coming down, and then the sand's joining on the bottom belt here. So this should now be running at full efficiency. So yeah, I'm just looking at the numbers on the sheet. It's only selling 44 salt. That gives us about 200. Selling 70 of those, that gives us about 170 spare. And the bricks is selling about 50, so that gives us about 190 spare. So yeah, the salt isn't really over. Just with the one machine's more than enough to run this. Did pretty good on the contracts, 186,000. 421,000 we earned. We spent 200,000. Those are numbers I like to see. We're selling relics. Go and have a look for the quest for the day. I'm happy I've tidied that up. Now, when I do the relic, I'm going to do it on the next floor. Well, the next but one floor. Okay, we just need bricks for that one. But let's turn the urgent one in. 25,000. And the bulk order, like I said, that's 555,000 silver. And we still got 2 days. So we'll have the relic in 2 days, and then I'll connect the shop back up then. Anything in here I need to do? Perfumed? No. So we're going on to that. I just want to fix the relic around the side. I'm just making sure everything... small gears we needed to fix. So small gears was... This was to make the other relic just to go into experience. So the small gears is this one. Did we have a cannon set up upstairs? I think I already set up a space, which was this one here. Which was going into the small gears. So I need to look 2 from the edge. Definitely need to get another shelf on here. So this one here. No, nothing's connected to it. Let me try and come this way just to see where this one is. So I need it by that cannon there. So if we come this side. Can the small gears reach that? It can. Perfect. And you're coming second from the edge. And it's going to slow down this relic, but that relic's only for experience. So I'm not too worried about it slowing down. And we should see small gears coming into it here. Just make sure I've got a stack on me. And what was you? You was... you're the one for the diamonds. Yeah, let's just chuck the money I've got into here. Let's just chuck the silver in there as well. 85 silver on me is more than enough. The boxes aren't really backing up. We've got a good supply. The belts are up to stacks of 4. But we do have a lot of belts. This inside track is not really doing anything. So I might as well just connect that back up. Take all these priorities out and just remove this belt. That will allow money going into my silver, but I've sort of stopped that build at the moment. That's fine. Let's get rid of this, which is G. Yep. Okay, so we want to mirror this back to back. So as soon as I've got one side done, all I've got to do is put the other one on. Now, we do technically not need any of this anymore. It will fill my inventory with partially completed stuff. Just going to move it out for the moment so I can get that other building. So we want both these in. Connecting to both joinings. Because that's going to mean this is doing 40 a minute. 2 combine. We'll have 2 combining on this side. So I think if we just do that in reverse. And then we want these 4 to combine down into 2. So that's why I'm going to plug the other machine. And then we'll just have a belt around the outside if we need to. Or we'll have a cut off from up here. So then this line and this line. Do you want that on the inside? Yeah, let's have that on the inside. Just make it look good as well. So this line here has to come in with this line, and then they can combine. That will combine into 2, won't it? Yeah, 4 machines down into 2, then it will go into 1. So I need you somewhere. I have got enough room to bring the belt back on itself here. Has to go that way. It cannot go any other way. And we'll just bring it over the top, because I need to combine the output of this and the output of this together, and then we can go up into what we was doing before. We don't need to go as high now. There's no other way I'm going to do this any better, is there? Unless I turn the machines on the side, but no, we'll stick with that. That output can come out back on itself here. Don't connect to that belt. Then we'll need to mirror this here. Yeah, that's fine. And then these 2 combine into the first one in the loop. So it's where do we want this and this to combine. Thinking bring it out this side and then we'll go back up. And then we'll do a very similar system to where we had last time. Just on a big wider base now. So you're coming out this machine back onto itself. Just hopefully I can get the stands over it. If not, I can always use beams or something. And then you have to come up above this belt. But like I said, this will make diamonds 4 times faster to get the first batch out, and that's what I need. And then the output of both those are the same type of sand. So that's stage 1, stage 2, and then stage 3 will be the next one. And I need 14 in total, wasn't it? 4, 8, 12, 13. I said I missed one. So yeah, 14 we need to go up to. So we've got this output we need to get up onto the next tier. Let's see if these stands will still work, or have I got to go to something bigger. Can it go over these is the next question. I don't know. No. But that's it. That's the issue I've got with this build. And we're going to fix that. Well, we can just put stands. That's fine. And then we just run it how we normally run it. So you would just come here. And then we just got to make sure we're getting the right amount. Now, how did we have it on here? Did we have it on the inside or outside? We had it on the inside. So we'll just stick with what we did like that. Now this has to come up into either one of these holes is fine. If we put a stand there, see if we can keep it on the same level, then we'd want one of them incline conveyors. If it can't go in, then we'll have to use a tower. No, it would have to be back one, so it'd have to be a tower. And as soon as I've got one build down, doing the rest is going to be easy after that. So you would just join into the machine, which you are. That's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, 4. Have to put some stands into here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six. And then we have to put stands in this here as well. Okay, we've got a bit more room between it than we had before. And I can just put a couple of blocks here. That belt now connects into there. And like I said, this will be a much faster system. So 2 stages on the bottom, 6 here, and 6 on the next. That's actually going to be the full 14, isn't it? 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, yeah. So we've got to get this up to the next level. So we've got to get a bunch of stands on. And we only need to go 1 more level. And then go on to the top for the cannon. And then I'll deal with what the outputs I've got from all the other machines. So yeah, that's going to be easy. Bunch of stands. Bunch of blocks. And then connect it back up. Yep, never needs to go into there. We're not running it that sort of way. We'd have to have belts across here. Got to come out here and go into there. Yes? 6, 12, 13, 14 in the middle. Yep. And we should be... actually, we're going to have to either put a block up here, like we did before. Can we get a conveyor up in that? No. Okay, we'll have to do the lift. I think we had the lifts here the last time. Like I say, I do really enjoy the other build I did, but I want to make everything efficient. So yeah, we're getting broken shards out here already. Much faster route than we did before. That will come all the way to here, come round here, and then this should be the diamond. So we can just put the cannon at the edge here. Maybe put the cannon here. Just because it's going to be the end of the build. And then all I've got to do is get that up to here. And then the cannon just connects up to that. Yeah, we put the cannon nice and high, and then we would have to put a lab stand here, the tall version, and there. Yeah, put one under there as well, and then a turbo lift, and we've got it. Okay, another end of day. We need to be turning in that Saturn on this day, otherwise I'm going to miss out on the quest. Selling 30 salt, 60 glass, 26 bricks. Yeah, always the glass is going to be the most one that's going to be selling more than bricks, even though they're pretty much the same process to make. We made 216 in contracts. That's nice to see. Sold a couple of relics, but because we're taking the... Actually, no, that relic should be running full. It doesn't affect the small gears. That's in the other build. What did we get? 431,000. Spent 183. Definitely a couple of days like this, it will allow us to then start making more and more of these relic machines, because I definitely want more than one. And then we just connect you into there and then set your target to there. So as soon as the relic's done, it will go in. So we can have a look at where it's got to. So currently it's doing up to dual shards, and it's going to be so much faster than before. And then all we've got to do is leave another space here. We do need to connect up the other half. Actually, that's the problem. I didn't think about it. The other part of the build's supposed to be here, because that's only half the build. This belt coming out like that didn't exactly help things. I forgot all about it. And there's no way I can redo anything, so we're going to have to just extend this slightly. And then we need to cut this back part. And then paste it over there. So let's get that done. Yeah, it's a good job I remembered. So yeah, this is only running half power. So we want to go all the way up to, where do we need to go to? We need to get to the front, so one out from that leg. So there's the leg. I want to come out one. And then I want to copy that. We don't have enough wood to build it, so let's go and get that sorted. Go to that blueprint. So that part has to plug into this. So I need to see all 4 lines blue. Okay, so we've got some extra belts in the middle, but I can take that out in a minute, I think. Most important is getting all 4 of those blue, which it is. But then I've got some red stuff. Okay, let's put you here for the moment. I need to see what's going on. That's where the money's coming in. Ah, these don't match up with it anymore. Because it was one off being center. So I need 2 spaces for you. So you're going to have to come up like that. Without you there. That connects up to this. And then I'll have to put the other one here. I think I'm running these. Need to do it the opposite way. That's why the belts are going weird. So let's get rid of you first. Let's do this one. So it has to come in from here, straight forward into the machine. This one has to come wide into the machine, and then that can connect to this. So it's made it one wider than I really wanted it to. It does mean that this is now possibly going to be in the way. You connect up to that. You would have to connect up to here. Maybe I can get away with it. If we start from there, go up and across, that connects to this. That one wants to connect to this all the time. So let's just... This belt would be from here, going in and across. And then you would join to that. So I should be able to just plug that in now. It will work. It's a little more space than I wanted it. But it will be easy to replicate it. So let's cut that and let's put you into place. So I need to see all them 4 belts. Okay, the one isn't joining, so I'm going to have to connect that up. But that should be in position now. Yep, perfect with that line. I've then got to just steal some money to go into these 4. They should already be set up to purchase. Actually, let's kill that for a second. Was we filling up these? Yeah, I was blocking them off, so I'll do the same. So I just need to fix this belt here. Yeah, the belting's okay. I don't think there's any way I can connect it without redoing all this. I could bring this to this side in future builds if I move the lift onto this side, because it's not a... If we had a reverse blueprint, it would be easy. Then that will give one output here, one output here, and then I could get rid of that one line. So would this be coming out or in? It would be leaving the machine going in, so it'd be like that. This one would have to go. You're building something and you see something wrong, fix it immediately. Otherwise it'll be bugging you forever then. So 2 single lines, that will connect up to them 2 single. And you don't need to be there anymore. So you would have to come out the front. And then come up here. So that's lined up. And then you would have to be swap sides. So yeah, it's got to be output on the bottom. That was the wrong way. I'm looking at the wrong one. There. That connects up. And let's move it 1 tile closer. So easier just to pick it up from here. Again, we've got to make sure we've got the portals on the right side. Yeah, I can see the portals there, so that's the side. One of the belts will not connect, I don't think. That's all gone blue. That's connected, that's connected. I think it's all in perfect position. And then all I've got to do is just reconnect you. Yeah, coins are coming in. It's not coming into amazing pace. But I want to see, yep, sand's coming through on all four. So that's going to speed this up. So have we got anything on the top? Yeah, it might take a couple of days to get it up there. No, we've already up to crude shard stage. So that's going to make a crude shard. What have I got on me? I've got a dull shard. That's a couple of tiers down. And then all I've got to do is copy that and paste it if I want more. But we'll let one start producing diamonds first. That means a big tidy up. We've getting rid of all this. And getting all that stuff out the starting area. We've got a couple hours only. And I think it's finished. Perfect. Quick run before end of day. A bulk order, 555. Just about in time. So now I can connect the belts back upstairs. We are making soap, we're making yeast, we're making glass, we're making turquoise. Let me go and grab that. We'll be having end of day soon. Okay, we're just getting the end of day report for day 75. Sold 3 relics on this day, so that's fantastic. If we are ever short of money, the Saturns I've got, if I'm sitting in a box, I will just sell them in the shop. But we are doing really good at the moment. Contracts are sticking around that 100 for each one, but we're only doing half the amount of bandages, so I can easily max that out. Especially if I want to put some points into contract amounts. So what did we get? We got 500 and 831,900 and 65,000. And we spent 200. That was mainly because of that quest. But it was definitely worth changing things to get that quest. So I've just put a little system down here just because I've got loads of sand everywhere, to be honest. And we're just going to put that into a box at the end. It should come out as a crude shard. But what I'm going to do for the moment, I'm just going to put all this stuff. We will get up to an adamant soon. Let me get the rest of that quest stuff and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I can't do that quest yet. I've just cut off the yeast powder again. I maybe want to start keeping yeast powder in a box, but we have got an urgent request. 32,000, just a little bit more soap. And soap is being done at a decent whack. It's something that doesn't sell much. I've got enough to do the 270 urgent, and then the other one I've got a couple of days to do it. Yeah, we just had to wait for the soap to stack back up and wait for that yeast powder. But let's just chuck some of the money I've got just sitting on me doing nothing. Put a lot of our silver into the box. Belts are starting to back up. I just need to see if that till's coping still. Okay, there's nothing in the till. And we've got all these boxes of the buffer. So yeah, that's fine. There is a lot of money on the belt, but that diamond build is going to start using a lot of money. Eventually I will chuck down another one, but I want my first diamonds to come out first. So where are we up onto here now? We're just waiting for the second one to come up for a polished stone. We're up to dull on this. So yeah, it'll be speeding up. Let's go on to something new. Do I want to do something new or do I want to upgrade the contracts? No, I think I want to do something new. So I'm going to use this space down here. So let's have a look. We have got some points we've been getting in the background. And because I've got that belt round, I don't need any more in fuel efficiency. I could probably take one out of fuel efficiency and still be good. It's pointless increasing the contract amounts at the moment because I'm not even hitting the maximums. So there's nothing desperately I need there. Fertilizer. Actually, I haven't checked on fertilizer in a couple of days. We was full up to about 4.5 boxes the last time I looked. Yeah, we still got definitely boxes. Yeah, we're still about 3.5 boxes of fertilizer. Is it going down? 53, 52, 53. It's pretty much holding steady. But that's because all these other machines down here have stopped. Rope, yep, still loads there. The cloth has still got a good backlog, but that'll be going soon. So yeah, let's have a look at our next build. So where do I want to be going? Well, copper powder we have unlocked, so that's really... Let's go and get this one unlocked. Because if I've got too much money, all I can do is turn it down into copper ingots. It gets me copper ingots fast, which means I can do copper bearings fast as well. But I think a build running at... needs to be in an Athena. I think we'll just run it at basic stuff. I don't think these will sell a lot in the shop. But we will have to do a more advanced build pretty soon. But let's just get a small one to get that done. This one here as well, we're using the sand to make up to... I think it's crude shard, Dad. It's either a crude or a broken. Now, we could make malachite with the copper powder up here and clay powder. Let's get that U unlocked as well. That's how I can turn my copper ingots into... my copper money into copper ingots. And my line is running silver. All I've got to do is put a bank portal on there. And it will take the copper off. Convert it into copper just for a build like that. Might be a simple way of getting that up into the shop. Let's get this yeast out here. Actually, picked up the wrong item. Need to have a look at the mushrooms because I think there's a problem with that. Everything seems to be not having enough mushrooms down here to make the yeast powder. Now, the wood is moving here. There's plenty of mushrooms backed up. What's the issue here? You should be making me... Okay, so the issue is something with this. It's not getting soap powder. Why are you not getting soap powder? Well, we've got soap powder there coming down. No, it's the fruit wine that's the issue. You're getting nothing. Why? Okay, I think I might have to put some fertilizer efficiency. Because this red wine is just not getting enough fertilizer to keep this going. Okay, I'm going to use the 2 points I've got to put into fertilizer. It was something I was going to do anyway. So now that should help this out because we're only using one every 6 seconds. So we only need 10 to run this. I've got 2 of them. That's 20 I'm going to need. Just for now, I'm going to fill it up and then we'll come and have a look at it in a minute. If I just take a stack of 100 on me. But yeah, good job I've just noticed that, to be honest. So we'll fill you up and then we'll have a look. Are you keeping up then? So if I'm only using 10 in here and 10 in here, I shouldn't have much. That line should be fairly full coming down. So it is still definitely losing. Down to 8. Then it goes up to 9, back down to 8. Then it drops to 7. So that tells me I need another fuel efficiency to keep this running. Until the line backs up. So the line is... Somebody's taking a lot of mushroom. You're taking it. What was you doing? You're doing the cloth. You're doing potions, but shouldn't be much call on potions. Because potions are going into the bandages here. We upped the quantity here, so that made more potions. We'll keep the 3 machines running until that box is cleared. That's probably why, because we upped the bandages a couple episodes ago. But that belt's looking a bit more healthier coming down. Next points we get, we'll put into there. Okay, it's not running great over here at the moment. I could put a box there, just as a temporary solution. No, it'd have to be a small box. Or one standing up. Yeah, let's go with a number 9. I should be able to connect onto a belt because this comes down onto this belt here. So if I plug you into there, I can see it's blue. If I put fertilizer in here, we'll put 2 stacks of fertilizer in. It will just help that build out a little bit. And then the next point we get, we'll put another one in fertilizer efficiency. So let's get an aphanor down. Let's start on an eating element. Let's come over this side just for our testing. And then we want to have a look at what the recipe is. We want to be making is it the copper powder? Yep, copper powder. And then it creates impure. So we would need soap powder and iron sand. Now we've already got a soap build. It needs fertilizer, but we just said the fertilizer's struggling a little bit. Iron sand, what is that? Because that's a new one to us. Iron sand would need iron going into a grinder. Let's go and have a look at our iron build. Can we get this somewhere near the iron build? The iron build's currently here. So we do have this space here. We could get the fertilizer from... Fertilizer coming over here somewhere. Yeah, fertilizer's coming here. We could get you to just continue down this way. Don't think I need fuel down here, but we could set up ready for it. And then bring the fertilizer into here and do the build here. Because I have got a big iron box here that's doing nothing. I could easily get this down the path there onto the next build. And I only got to take it out the box. That would work. So let's bring this closer. So all we would need to do is get the soap powder build. And I think I've got a soap on my blueprints I saved from when we built it the last time. So it was this one. We just need some iron. Yeah, we'll put it over this side. I think I want to prepare this belt first before I build too much here. So we'd have to bring it up here. So we'll go with the smaller one. I would like all my belts to be going one way more than having to keep backtracking. We won't put a belt in the middle one yet. And then we'll put this one on. This is going to be for the fertilizer. But we will have to put another fertilizer plant down pretty soon. As soon as we start getting that stockpile got down. And we want to take it from the bottom, bring it up here. Yeah, that's bringing fertilizer up now. Just having a look at what's being used in here for the relic. It's using one every 36 seconds, so that's only using 2 fertilizer. This belt will be coming round out of the box, so this is going to be a 60-minute belt. I'm using 2 there. I'm using roughly 2 there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I've got 48 capacity on the belt. That's why you only see one being took out every so often. And there's nothing else in here, is there? No, because that's just taking stuff on this side, I think. Is it? Just watching where the fertilizer's going to. Fertilizer goes into this. Oh, that's where it comes out into the boxes. Then it comes back on itself. Then it goes underneath straight into that build, yeah. So I've got about 40 odd capacity on that belt. So we can bring that to wherever we need it. But just for now, I'll plan it to come to there, and then we'll just figure out where we want to connect it. That's the first thing I want to be connecting, is get the soap powder in. Now, what numbers do we need? So over here. So the soap is coming out at 20 a minute, and then it's getting ground at 10 a minute. So for every one of these machines, I need 4 of these really then. Because you've got a full plant ash, which would need fuel, which we've got plenty of. And then you would need 4,000. What was one of these machines down here doing? 3,000. I was having 3, 6, 9. 9 going into 2. That leaves a bit left over. So we are keeping this full. At the 4,000 with a little bit left over. So we're doing the full 20 a minute in there. So yeah, 4 grinders onto this. That gets us the soap powder. We should be doing a comfortable 20 a minute soap powder. So 20 a minute is only partial, so we only need 20 iron. So we don't even need a massive amount of iron coming from that build to combine. Yeah, we'll do that. Get the soap down. We need to make a slight alteration because this one hasn't got the additional... What is it? Blender. It hasn't got the additional blender on this build. Let's have a look. Where is it going? So that's where the stuff's coming out. The cannon doesn't need it on this build. And the fuel and stuff's already plugged in. I don't want to go too far from this build. You're purchasing what? Oh, you're purchasing iron. Just wonder what that build was for. So I can see it's connected up because I can see the 2 blues. And I think there's a perfect position. Not that far from the iron to get here. Yeah, we'll have you plugged in. I don't need that belt. And there's something else that's going to be using fuel. So I do need to keep an eye on how much fuel's being used. So we needed to put a second one of this. Needed to remove the cannon. And then we needed to plug you in. And then we needed to plug the top in as well. Which was glass. I've got it on my bar. So that's the soap coming out. Put a couple of those and then that will allow us to get the 4 grinders I said I wanted. But we could just use 2 of the large grinders. Maybe put a grinder there. That should be more than enough to deal with this. And then I'll deal with the outputs here, which is going to be the soap powder. Let's get one more out. Don't like the belts when they go weird like that. Just make sure everything here is running. Yeah, the fertilizer's backing up. It's fine. I don't need to block up slots. And this is only sage and the other stuff, so that's fine. It's already got the fuel coming in, so that's getting cooked. So all I need to do is connect the Athanor on. Is that correct? We need to get the iron sand dealt with. The iron sand, let's go back to that. I think it was just ground, wasn't it? Oh, it's here. Iron into a grinder equals iron sand. It just depends on how much I need. Maybe put... Yeah, they would only need to be next to each other. And I've already got the soap powder here. So let's do a little grinder setup here. We could have possibly got a cannon here to shoot over. Let's see if that will work. Plug it right onto the iron at the back here. Be better than belting stuff across from one machine to another. It all depends on can this cannon reach where I want it to. So rotate that round. We would only need a little upper here. Would put a bit more strain on the iron, so we might be up to the situation where I need to add another iron machine. It all depends on what the... Oh, that's working perfect. And then we want to grind it. Just for now, I'm going to be putting one of the large grinders and see what the numbers are. We know we're going to be doing soap at 40 a minute. Yeah, 40 a minute. We're doing soap powder. That's 2/3 the amount, so we need 40 iron. does 4. I need 10 of these grinders. Wow. That's more than I was expecting. So what we might be able to... Actually, no, I'm just trying to think. Well, we've got room here. We don't have to skimp with space. And again, that doesn't even have to be there. All this needs to do is connect up to the iron sand. So we could have all the enhanced grinders over this side. Could even do 2 levels if we need to. 10. Can I do 2? 1, 2, 3. That will work. I'm going to take the end one out on the right. That allows me to belt stuff up and down. And, yep, that's fine. So you don't need to be here. And this doesn't need to be there. So that could come... Just here would be fine. And then that plugs it straight onto the belt. So let's remove you. Let's reorganize that cannon. So the cannon comes into here. And end the day report. And what do we get? 312,000. And we spent just over 224. So overall a very good day. So let's get you into there. So now that cannon is set up. All we've got to do is bring the belt across the bottom. And it does mean if I'm having 40 iron, I need 40 iron a minute. This is only making 10 a minute. So yeah, I'll probably have to extend that out. Adding another iron system onto there. Easiest way would just be put one here. So let's put the belt across here. Lift at the very edge. Take it from the bottom, bring it onto the top. And then we just connect that belt all the way up to the... So that should get me the iron sand I need. Then the bottom here, we might as well have out, because that's going to come out where the soap powder is to get combined. We will need an aphanor, so we're going to have to put you here. We've got fuel line here, so that's fine. We can just extend it. And we need another lift here. Not a full belt of 60, so we don't need to worry about it. It's only 40 on this belt. And then we'll have you going across the top. Like that. And the belt. And that will give us 40 a minute. But yeah, without these enhanced grinders, it would be 20 of the other grinders to get the sort of ratio I need. So for now, I think I'm going to change that. Like that. And this can go like that. We might change the way it is. Might even be easier, because then I could just connect it on and I haven't got to start messing around with extra belts. Yeah, that'll be better. Okay, and then we want to put the aphanor on. There's 2 outputs, so it's going to have to go something like that so I can deal with the 2 outputs. So the priority is going to be the copper powder. Then the other one is going to be the impure copper powder. So I am going to have to change this by putting a little stone down here. Maybe 2. That way I can bring in the soap powder. I think I just got an extra skill point. I think that's what that was. And we do know the fertilizer is struggling, so I'm just going to use that point immediately. 3 in fuel, 3 in heat. And then I've got the 12 in the relic just so I can get more experience. So I've got a bit of wasted space up here. I could move this away and put this furnace closer in this spot here. Would it help how I can connect things? Probably. Just try and keep my space between the builds when I can. Let's get that Aphanor down again. Which is here. Okay. We'll have it coming off the edge like that, and then it's going to be easier for me to deal with. So you come into this side, and then you come round the machine here. Into the machine. And let's just make sure we get... Well, we're using stands, so we'll just use stands. I could have it from the edge coming round. Yeah, we'll do that. Just so it's all continuous on the line, so this will be the last thing it does. Because we always want that iron being done as a priority if this is using the iron. That will work. And it is using coke powder in here, so that's going to... Because this uses 32 P's per second, where a crucible only uses 4. This will be using a lot more power. But yeah, all I've got to do is the outputs now. And I think the stands go very nice off the edge of these. So let's just see. We should have copper coming out this side and impure out that side, if I remember right. Let me set the recipe again. So we've been seeing the stuff coming in as a balanced number. And as soon as we don't need iron, it will stop sending it over. So yeah, the first batch has come out. It is impure. And then this side is the pure. That's good. Now we can look at the next stages, which I think we might need more research for. So yeah, we want the copper bearings, because that's what we're going to be turning the copper powder into. And then we also want bronze rivets, and then we'll unlock the cauldron. I will use cauldrons, but not extensively. I'd rather just do the builds the old-fashioned way. But yeah, that will allow us to deal with the copper, which tells us it's a processor, and that's a processor. So I need 2 processors on here. Processors, that's number 3, isn't it? Then we want to look at ratios with this. Now that's in the assembler. It's you. So it has 1 input, so that's good. It allows me to belt out you there and belt out the other one there. Now, we don't really need to store the powder. So we know on this side here it's going to be impure, so that's going to be brass. And we know the copper's going to be on this side. And there's the other recipe for the brass. Oh, actually, no, we need to make it into ingots first. Why do I always miss stages out? So yeah, copper ingots would be copper powder in a crucible. So we do need crucibles. And I'm guessing that's going to be the same for bronze as well, isn't it? Yeah, we need crucibles. Okay, just jump forward a step. So crucibles does have space, so this we can just rechange. We need another one of these. Let's have the fuel on the same side. And let's just grab some crucibles. And let's get some numbers. And then while we're at it, we can just set up the fuel ready. We've got plenty of fuel to play with at the moment. So, nothing's going into there because it hasn't got the heat in yet. Wait for some pure stuff. Okay, so Oh, powder is a little on the slow side. Just make sure these are all working. Yep, these are working. The linseed's working. Plantash is working. It's just as slow to make it. But yeah, it's doing nothing on that side yet. Maybe I've got to remove some of these so that the other side comes out. Oh no, we've got it there. So 5 a minute comes in, 5 a minute comes out. Nearly out of nails. Let's go and have a look at the quest of the day, because all I've got to do now is just put the processors on. Extend this out. Plug these straight into processors. We might want a box for the copper and the normal ingots. So maybe having a box here, a box here. Maybe having a stone wall down here would be a good idea. But yeah, I do want to look at them quests in case they are urgent quests. Don't technically need you there. Thinking putting a box here. Taking off the line. That's not a box. That's the box. So taking off the line. And then we'll have one on this side doing the same thing. So just for now, we'll store the ingots. And I'll probably want to set up so I have a 50-50 split on them. Copper powder and impure I've got, I can just chuck in the machine and then that will deal with it out to where it needs to. So this is doing 5 a minute. This will catch up, it's just because I put extra in there. That's fine. The machine will slow down after. So at least I've got copper and brass coming through now. Okay, I've got everything for the quest I've got on my sidebar there. Let's make sure nothing... No, nothing is... 2 Saturns, I don't think I'll be able to get that done. But yeah, 164,000 for this one. Definitely taking that. Because we've been sending the stuff back to the shop. This is probably only up to 9%. It's still trying to back up the stuff in the shop. You can see the belts here. Glass hasn't backed up yet. Brick has just about caught up. Let's have a look at how much glass is up here. Yeah, brick I'm up to 400. It's nearly ready, so I'm going to cut that belt again just for the glass. And we'll have the glass start going into the relic. And we'll have another quest in a couple hours. Yeah, we just need that bar to back up. Just need to make sure these are running efficient. Got plenty of coat powder in it. So it looks to be. Definitely full with sand. You're full. You're full. Have you got fuel in the bottom? Yep, you're good with fuel. I've just got loads of stuff on me I want to get rid of. Iron sand doesn't go in there. And we've got this box here just storing up. The extra sand on the line. And that extra sand, what's not being used, then just comes over into this machine. Then we can have a look at what we've got. We actually got a load of crude shards. Okay, so let's have a look up here. So the final output's here. There's nothing in there. We do have an adamant being made with 2 polished. Which is perfect because I've got a polish there and I've got an adamant. So we can turn these up to a diamond. So all I'm going to do is on this machine here, it currently has a polished in there. I'm going to break it and then build another one down. Now I should have 2 polished, which should make an adamant. And then we could put the 2 adamants here. That should make me my first diamond. There it is, a diamond worth 100 silver. And out of all that little bits I had over, we've managed to make up to a diamond. And we'll just put it on the shelf. And again, I haven't got to micromanage this, it's going to do it. These little things here are very, very useful the way I've set it up. And I don't want to take stuff out of here until all the sand's processed. And it will start making more broken shards, which I can turn into the next stage. The one thing you can do is a machine, a box, a machine, a box, a machine, a box. And it allows you to plug things in at different stages. No, that's good. Can't do anything with the quest. Let's just wait for the next day to come over while I'm just checking everything out. How are these doing? Yeah, all full up now, except for the glass, but I did cut that off. That 300 glass up there will last about 3 days. It just allows some of it coming here. And as you can see, the glass is now starting to come in. The line backed up there. I will fix it later. See if we can get these 2 in a day. It's going to be very, very, very hard. But we'll see what we can do. I could even put a more official build down. I would have sand left over, which I could easily chuck into a diamond build. Any sand overflow. So I could just make a simplified version of this. 20 salt will be a 2 stack. I could plan up to 30. What would 30 be? It would be 3 of these. So that would be 3 lines of sand. And then you would need the clay coming in at 10. Clay actually gets made at 15. Do forget that this is slightly more. So if I wanted to do a 3 build, I would have to have 5 sand lines. 5 sand lines, 2 going into clay production, 3 going into glass. Then I would have to have a stack of 3 salt machines. And then the overflow of that could just go in. It would allow me to get a relic a lot faster than I'm doing now. And because I won't be running it to perfect ratios, I could just plug it into this side and have them across here. Salt at the very edge, which would be easier to deal with because I could just put the sand out this side for a diamond. Or just box it up. I've got options. Let's come back to this build and then we'll go back over there later. So this one needed 2 processors. A processor going that way and a processor... I always press the wrong key, it's T. I just need to make sure I've got the right sides. So this side is going to be copper. And we do want to get these into the shop. We can store them upstairs, so that's fine. And then we can just repeat this here. Another wall here. And we could plug 2 cannons on. Even better, I don't need that. Plug the cannons onto the end of the machines. This isn't going anywhere except for into the shop. Yeah, let's get 2 cannons down. It should be fairly easy to get up into the shop. Plug you onto this machine, plug you onto there. These won't produce a massive amount. Just that I probably could do with getting another soap build, really. Do have the space to put another one in here. Okay, 2 relics sold on this day, but we did use some for the quest, so that's fine. One look at contracts. Yeah, 450 on the contracts with the bandages. That's about half the amount. And only 200. I think I can do 1,600 of these, so I could really ramp up anytime I need wood. Put rotten logs down. But yeah, what have we got? 562,000. We're making very, very good money. 206 we spent out and 562. Yep, very nice. I think the issue is the sand, not the actual flax. We can run both these, but we only got 1 line coming in with sand. But the belt doesn't look Okay, because it's only a 60 belt coming out, but then it's going into each. Okay. I made a bit of an error with that one. Yep, let's copy you. Where do you plug in? Yeah, we'll just plug you straight onto the back. And then we'll just have to change everything on the top. Okay, let's just build it from scratch. So I need another 3. Your output's taken from there, so we'll just plug you into there. So do we have enough sage coming in? I don't think we have, because we've got 2. Ah, sage would be the bottom. So if I want to put another 60 into here, I would need another sage. Just trying to think how I can get this done. I need that and that. Let's move you off because you're not being used. We would have to have crucibles on. Trying to see if I can do a new type of stack. You're better off being at the front, so that will be plugging into the line. That will give us the space to get the sage in. Is there any way I can get this on top of this? I think so. Maybe just using some stone and some beams. Now we do have stackable crucibles. We do start having the stuff to do that. Just for now, I think I want to go one more. Actually, yes, I will need to go one more. And then let's put a beam across. And then maybe put the nursery on top. So yeah, I've been looking at the wrong numbers with this. Yeah, that's perfect. Then we can just put the nursery on top, and all I've got to do is get the nursery down into these. Might need to leave one extra space between this and the belt. So fertilizer comes in. Probably would be better having it something like that. You can go, and you can go. You would have to probably be there because I need to come one away from the belt. Fuel comes in at the second, so that's fine. That'll plug in into the second. And which side was the input? Output's this side. No, let's have the nursery the opposite way. Just because then I can leave more space between these machines. So all I would need to do is get the nursery from the 3rd tier. Or the fertilizer from the 3rd tier, shall I say. Which is there. And bring it up. Once you get the basics of the building, it's quite easy then to come up with more elaborate builds. But that's actually quite nice. That will do my sage powder. That's actually quite a nice, easy system. And then the bringing it down is going to be quite easy. We'll bring it down at this point. Level with the shelf. So the output comes out like that. Got to go to the left-hand side. Let's just swing you around. Yeah, you're connected. And then I just need to go over this. I have to connect that belt up because it's not always the easiest to get fuel on a single belt like that. That's fine. That's easy to deal with. I have a tool lab stand in the middle. I could even move that back one because I don't need all this space. And that allows me to get the belt in or the grinders on the other side. So yeah, plant ash comes down into here from the sage. Comes into here, and then I deal with the output here for the grinders. Now, what grinders are we using? No, we don't need grinders for plant ash. It just comes out as plant ash. And then we deal with some stands and stuff with the other side. But yeah, that's a nice, easy plant ash setup. It's that easy, I think I'm actually going to blueprint it. Okay, that went weird. While I was typing, it come out of it. So it's going to be green because it's plant ash. Yeah, it's jumping up. I'm actually in the menu trying to type, and it's actually not. They broke something with an update. This never used to this, so I'm trying to type in the menu to save the blueprint name, and it's actually using keys outside the menu. That's not good. They need to fix that. Let's just confirm it. It's saved, and then I'll have to redo it when... Yeah, that's not good. It should be able to, if you're typing in the menu, you shouldn't have outside controls working. Hopefully they can fix it. They have dropped a load of patches recently. Maybe then, because you're plugging onto the line, we'll just plug it on. Just need to see where this is. I want to have a little space. I'd rather it be this corner, and then I've just got to plug that belt in. Okay, that's going in. Let's just start making the plant ash I need. So where are we going to get the belt out? So we need to get onto something like that. So we could just do that. Doesn't need to be ground. All we need to do is connect the plant ash to this far line. That was the issue. Because I'm trying to shove 60 a minute into 2 machines, which need 60 a minute. And that's why it's been slow making the soap. That also means my other build is broke because of that same reason. I doubled up the machines, but I didn't double up the amount of sage coming in. Why are you saying not enough space? Okay, so you need to come out this side. I've got a broken belt here as well. That should be coming in like that. Yeah, this one machine hasn't been working. That should be much better. Still got a little bit of overflow of 1,000. Which we're not using. We could always chuck down to another machine, but these lines should continuously move. Yeah, that looks a lot better than it was. And if I need any more grinders, if this backs up too much, I could put a couple of grinders on top. He's backing up just because of the speed of these. So if I want to put another one, it might actually be easier putting it here, but that piping's going to get in the way. So no, I've just increased the efficiency. So yeah, we was just missing a plant ash, that was all. Iron sand's all backed up, so it's not taking any more iron. This should start speeding this up now end. I have a lot of soap powder on me. Yep, I'm running pretty even numbers. They both go down to about 15, 16, and then I'm going up together. Okay, so that's a more efficient way of doing it. Let's have a look how the iron box is, because like I said, I will need to add another iron on this side if it gets too low. It's definitely Let's sort it out to the top like that, and then we'll have a look next episode. It is definitely 96, 95, 94. If it starts getting down less than 2 stacks, then I need to do something about that. And then, yeah, we'll add on to this build over here. But yeah, let's go and do the quests, and then we'll call it there for today. But yeah, I've got a nice, easy way I want to increase this relic production. And then we might be able to get that Saturn quest done. Let's have a look at what the other one was, an urgent one. Just stone. That's a very, very simple quest. We should have a fairly decent box over here. Unfortunately, because it's stone, it won't pay a lot. Only 4,000, even at double value. So yeah, let's get all that in there. We'll keep the gold on us for now. 60,000 is more than enough. Let's go on the line. Let's have a quick look at how our lines are doing. So nothing spending around here at the moment. Lots of lines. Yeah, pretty good. This line is the one that's been took off to fill, so that's full. This is all backed up. So that is telling me that it is time we get maybe another... Did we set you up? Yeah, well, you're set up. You're set up to the top. Maybe set up an extra diamond build would be very useful. Because we need to make sure we've got a good amount of money coming in before we move up to the next. So the diamond would be there, which is going into the center shelf. Ah, this shelf isn't being used. That's why I couldn't figure out where the diamonds was going. So yeah, diamonds come onto this one. But yeah, I'll get the stuff together for the next quest, and then we need to increase the Jupiter if we want to do that other quest. How many days do we have? We have 3 days, and it is worth 650. Because we can gain 160% of the value of 150 silver. So we can gain over 200. At 240 silvers for each one of them relics we can do. So yeah, we'll go into that on the next episode. Hopefully you're still enjoying the series, and I'll be seeing you all again soon. Thank you very much for watching.